Networking is often thought of a way to promote your business. Networking is much more than that. It's a network of friends and associates, business or otherwise. Welcome to Opportuno, Episode 9, How and Why You Should Network. Today, I'm going to talk about networking with people with 4 points I'd like to suggest to develop and maintain your network. Point 1. First, you need to adopt a mindset that you're developing your network to give and not get. Be a giver, not a user. Don't dismiss anyone as not being valuable to your network. A gentleman with the name Fregues Carinthi, spelled Fregyes Karinthy, a Hungarian author, as well as playwright, poet, journalist, and translator, lived from 1887 to 1938, wrote a short story entitled Chains, introducing the 6 degrees of separation concept, a concept suggesting we are only separated from everyone on earth by 6 people. The title of the story, Chains, was very appropriate because all human beings are all linked together. We're all family, perhaps seemingly a very dysfunctional family, but still, I prefer to look at everyone as my potential extended family on this wonderful spaceship Earth. In other words, to explain 6 degrees of separation concept, any 2 of the approximately 8 billion people on Earth are only about 6 people connections away from each other. Imagine you being only 6 links away from any other person on Earth. Ever hear the expression, "It's a small world"? Happens more than we think that we cross the paths of people from all over the world that know someone we know. With the advent of social media, it can bring the gap of separation even lower than 6 people connections apart. Knowing about this 6 degrees of separation concept will emphasize that you should be careful not to exclude people when networking. In fact, I believe that's a great choice in life to never discount someone's worth. Everyone has talents, gifts, and everyone is a distinct, unique individual. I think about it this way. If you were stranded on a deserted island for many years and wanted a way off the island and saw a boat way in the distance sailing to your island, would you wave them away if they did not meet your networking requirements? The answer would be no, as you need and want them to rescue you off the island, regardless of what you might think of them. And that reinforces the idea you should never discount anyone from being a valuable asset to your network. Of course, there are those people that will simply not be an asset, but a detriment to your network. If you think you have to have the cream of the crop in your network, then you'll be so preoccupied judging people's value to your network that your network may never grow to its potential. Use your common sense, instincts, and tuition when approaching someone you feel could be a part of your network. Part of getting to know people is simply acting immediately on a basic feeling that you can add value to that person's network and they can add value to your network, even if at the time you don't have background history to support it. Sometimes you may feel strongly that what you have to offer someone would basically be a gift to them to improve their lives, even if you do not see potential value coming back from them. By all means, add those people to your network as well. By helping someone out, not expecting anything back is a reward in itself. You'll find that to give, not expecting a return, is a biblical principle. The following is a quote from the Bible of a portion of the sermon by Jesus from the book of Luke, chapter 6, verses 27 to 36, read from the New King James Version of the Bible. But I say unto you who hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you. To him who strikes you on one cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your tunic either. Give to everyone who asks of you, and from him who takes away your goods, do not ask them back. And just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. But if you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive back, what credit is that to you? For even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much back. But love your enemies, do good, and lend, hoping for nothing in return, and your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High, for He is kind to the unthankful and evil. Therefore, be merciful, just as your Father also is merciful. End of quote. These Bible verses includes the Bible verse found in Luke chapter 6, verse 31, that the golden rule is based on. Verse 31 in Luke chapter 6 in the New King James Version reads as follows, and just as you want men to do to you, you also do to them likewise. End of quote. Focus on applying this golden rule to everyone you meet. The two-part definition to golden rule in the Merriam-Webster Dictionary is, Part 1, a rule of ethical conduct referring to Matthew chapter 7, verse 12, and Luke chapter 6, verse 31, do to others as you would have them do to you. Part 2, a guiding principle. End of quote. I like that part 2 of the golden rule definition, a guiding principle, so much that I'm going to say the following. The guiding principle to building your network should be the golden rule. Living life on the principle that it's okay and right to give, not expecting anything in return, will provide richness in your life that cannot be measured in dollars and cents. If you've ever studied networking methods before, you'll know the admired networking teachers will always tell you to give something. During the first encounters with someone, listen to their wants and needs. Don't express your wants and needs. Think of the other person. Truly listen and truly want to help them achieve their goals or help solve their problems. The principle of giving, not expecting anything in return, will provide a strong foundation for your network. With your network of people, knowing that you're not just there for you, but for them, and they will trust you're truly interested in their best interest, and it's not all about you. Knowing that you're there for them, they will want to be there for you. Networking is often thought of a way to promote your business. Networking is much more than that. It's a network of friends and associates, business or otherwise. Not everyone will want to be a part of your network, and maybe you don't want to be part of their network. Once you begin your networking adventure, you'll begin to sense a connection with like-minded individuals where both parties sense a win-win by networking with each other. I would recommend to only work with those people that want to work with you, that trust you, and appreciate the opportunity to work with or for you. And of course, you also only want to work with people you trust and with those people you appreciate the opportunity to work with or work for. That's my first point, which is to treat everyone you meet as an equal human being, deserving to be treated just like you would want to be treated. Having this attitude in life will enrich your life beyond measure with more associates, friends, and allies than you ever thought possible. That brings me to point number 2. Listen and be attentive to people. It's not about you. Focus on giving more than getting. It's about the other person's hopes, dreams, aspirations, and goals. The more you listen, the more attentive you are, the more you'll know how to help or even share with them someone in your network that can help. I believe people have a sixth sense to know if you really care for them, really are interested in what they are saying, and especially know if you take prompt action to follow up quickly and professionally in anything you promise them. When you're talking with them, listen more than you talk and really focus in on what they are saying. Example, during the conversation, you may think of a tool, book, online video, or person that can help them, and let them know that you'll take care of that right away. As soon as possible, same day preferably, email or call them to update them on what progress you've made on what you committed to do for them. Never promise anything you cannot provide for someone in a prompt, timely manner. Your prompt, timely follow-up will prove that you are a person of your word. A quote from the King James Version of the Bible in the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 1, is as follows. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. End of quote. People will associate with people they trust. If you trust someone, you'll value their recommendation of someone else. For people to associate or do business with you or refer you to others, you must have a good name and value your good name more than great riches. Now, for point number 3, organize all your contacts in one place. This could be using a free-form database like MyBase, available from the website www.wbase.com. jjsoft.com. If you have a Google account, you could use Google Contacts, which is free to use, or even your mind map software such as SimpleMind, available from simplemind.eu, which has a free and paid version. Having your contacts all in one place makes it easier to manage contacts as necessary. Your contacts should each have a category. If using Google Contacts, write categories under Label. If using a mind map or freeform database, write Contacts and write all your categories under Contacts. The category or label could be whatever you're involved in. If you're in sales, you might have a category Prospects. People you work with on a continued basis, that category might be colleagues or coworkers. People that provide goods and services, maybe that category would be vendors. If you're actively seeking people to join your team, maybe have a category recruits. People that are professionals in their field perhaps have a category called professionals. For people such as carpenter, plumber, electrician, painter, you could have a category called skilled labor. Also, I recommend to have a friends category and a family category. This short example list of categories was prospects, colleagues or coworkers, vendors, recruits, professionals, skilled labor, friends, and family. With MyBase or SimpleMind, you can have categories under categories. For example, under the category skilled labor, you can have other categories such as carpenter, plumber, electrician, painter, etc. Examples of how this is laid out in Google Contacts, MyBase Freeform Database, and SimpleMind Mind Map is available under show notes for this episode, episode 9, on our website, opportuno.org. What and how many categories are used will vary from person to person, depending on what their network is being used for. Personally, I like my contacts in a freeform database. With the freeform database MyBase, you can do an advanced search using Boolean search operators such as and, or, not, as well as search on full or partial words. For example, if you can only remember that someone with a first name of Sam that specialized in pressure washing, you could do a search on all records having the words Sam and pressure. And point 4. Last but not least is to stay in touch with your network. This may be by email, bulk email, letter, phone call, lunch, or a visit. When you do make contact, always try and offer something meaningful, helpful, or of value to them, such as a job to do or something you know they would have an interest in. If at every contact you have something meaningful, helpful, or of value to them, they will come to appreciate and look forward to your calls, emails, visits, or however you make contact. In closing, I'll reiterate these 4 suggestions of how and why you need to start and develop your network. Number 1, be a giver. Remember the 6 degrees of separation concept that all human beings are all linked together. To remind yourself to keep an open mind that everyone has worth, and it's a small, world. Any two of the approximately 8 billion people on Earth are only about 6 people connections away from each other. The guiding principle to building your network should be the golden rule. Number 2, it's not about you. Focus and be attentive to who you're communicating with, listening more than talking. Be and act trustworthy. Never commit to anything you can't or won't deliver, and when you do commit to provide something, provide that product or service promptly and professionally. Number 3, organize, manage, and categorize all your contacts in one place, such as a contact manager, mind map, or freeform database. And number 4, stay in touch with your network by email, letter, phone call, lunch, visit, meetings with other networkers, etc. I hope this helps and encourages you to see the value of networking. Just know that networking is an ongoing, never-ending process. Starting and maintaining a network is like having a garden. You have to till the soil by knowing how to set up your network. Sow the seeds in good ground by meeting great people to be in your network. Water the seeds by staying in touch and having meaningful relationships with people in your network. And keep the weeds pulled out by keeping only those in your network that understand and appreciate the win-win value of being in your network. This world has many wonderful people, and a win-win networking system allows you the opportunity to meet, know, work, be a mentor or protege, help, and fellowship with these wonderful people. Approach building your network with the attitude that it's a wonderful world full of wonderful people, with your network being a way you can have a win-win relationship with many wonderful people. The family of Jacques Cousteau have long been passionate conservationists, sharing with the world the beauty of the oceans and their inhabitants, plus letting the world know we all need to protect our oceans. I'd like to close by reading a quote by Aislinn Gorse Cousteau, the wife of Philippe Cousteau Jr., who is the son of Philippe Cousteau and the grandson of Jacques Cousteau. The planet is a vast and beautiful place full of exciting and wonderful people. That's all for now. Please visit our website, opportuno.org. That's spelled OPORTUNO.org. Thank you.